Hi, I'm Miles of MW Woodworks. Today I'm going to show you how to make this honeycomb inspired shelf. Let's get to it. Okay, we're going to start off by ripping the material down to its final width. For this project, to save time, I bought S3S red oak lumber. S3S means that this wood is already planed on both faces and one edge has already been ripped straight. Most of your hardware stores will mill their rough lumber for a reasonable price. This can save you a lot of time if you don't have a joiner or planer already, or if you're just in a hurry like I was. I'm cutting the boards down into more manageable lengths so they aren't so awkward to handle. And once that's done, I'll put a stop block on the crosscut fence and cut them down to the exact length needed. I highly recommend you build a simple sled and cut the end of the sled to 30 degrees as I've done here. Being able to cut the mitered ends of the pieces by placing the end of the board right up against the cut line on the sled makes this go a lot faster. Before gluing up the honeycombs, be sure to sand everything to 220 grit. Here I'm trying to lay out the first honeycomb. Unfortunately, I made a mistake and didn't keep the pieces all together from each board. So I'm trying to figure out how to line the grains back up to make one continuous looking piece. Once you're happy with that, go ahead and tape each joint together. Flip the piece over and apply a liberal amount of glue into each joint. That's done, just roll it up, glue that last joint together, and add a piece of tape to hold that closed. Set that piece aside and move on to the next one. Some of these honeycombs will have a shelf in the middle. In order to get the shelf centered in the honeycomb, the shelf needs a miter cut on both sides. The jig doesn't help very much for this, so I've marked the cut lines on each board and then cut to the line. There's only a couple of shelves, so this really doesn't take up that much time. Go ahead and glue the shelves in place. You don't need a lot of glue for this. Glue is just there to tack the shelves in place so they can't be pulled out. The joint itself supports any weight you put on the shelf. And if you put too much glue in this joint, you're going to be cleaning it out of the tight corners later on. To give the honeycombs a softer, more organic look, and to protect the edges of the wood, you'll want to ease the corners. The quickest way to do this is to set up a roundover bit in the router table and go to town. get the honeycombs ready for stain, dust off any loose debris and wipe the honeycombs down with mineral spirits. Once the mineral spirits are dry, you can go ahead and start staining. For this project, I'm using Candlelight Gel Stain by Journal Finishes. I really like the warm tones in this stain, and I've found myself using it in a lot of projects lately. Apply a liberal amount of stain to all surfaces and then wipe off the stain with a clean rag. This is an oil-based stain, so I would recommend 8 hours dry time for an oil-based polyurethane finish, or 24-hour dry time if you're going to use a water-based finish. You don't have to glue these honeycombs together. You could hang them individually on the wall or in small clusters, but my client wanted a single cluster of honeycombs, so I broke the project into 2 glue-ups. Once they're finished, I'll add a metal bracket to attach the 2 halves. This will allow me to ship the piece in a smaller box and makes it easier to take apart and move in the future. To finish this project, I'm using Satin High Performance, also by Journal Finishes. It's a water-based finish, so it's safe to spray indoors. Using a spray finish on this project helps to quickly get finish into the tight spaces that would be hard to reach with a brush or a cloth. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it. Please don't forget to subscribe and check out my channel for more videos.